Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and I don't know, people who identify as cheesy Wotsits for some kind of illicit sexual thrill. It's the internet, I wouldn't put it past anyone right now. Like, you people are mental enough even when there's not a quarantine keeping you away from any modicum of sanity. This is Streets of Rage 4. For those that don't know, my name is in fact Blaze Fielding. So, I'm going to play through the game as Blaze Fielding. And yes, I'm well aware that I'm named after a girl. It's also worth noting, yes, I'm playing on easy mode, I'm not very good at this particular game yet. It's worth noting that Blaze is pretty much one of the best characters in the series. She is one of only 2 characters that's playable in every game so far, the other being Axel. You know, the poster boy. Because, of course, Adam Hunter was playable in Streets of Rage 1, but he was captured in 2. I don't recall if he was playable in 3 or not, because he's a shit character anyway. Floyd and Cherry are new. There's my namesake from Streets of Rage 1, and again from 2. I haven't unlocked the Streets of Rage 3 characters yet, which is what I'm gunning for today. That's me. I've got the classic soundtrack enabled, because I grew up with this soundtrack, so obviously. Don't trouble yourself with the story of these games, it's just, here's a bunch of bad guys, punch them in the face until there's none left. I don't know why they ever bother trying to have a story that's anything more than that, to be honest with you. I think that was one of the big problems I had with Streets of Rage 3, is it was all about robots and, you know, some big conspiracy at the mayor's office and stuff like that. I'm like, can I just punch the bad guys in the fucking face, please? Like, I don't need it to be anything more complicated than that. Just, here is a face, here is your fist, keep connecting the two until we tell you to stop. Why would it need to be anything more? Now, I've obviously played this game a fair bit already. This is hardly my first rodeo. Even though I'm still not very good at it, to be honest. Despite growing up with this whole series, I'm amazing at Streets of Rage 1 and 2, but I just cannot wrap my head around this. This stupid combo system, and it feels like it's balanced for 2-player mode, and, well, I don't have any friends. That's its own problem, we'll deal with that some other time. I also hate that asshole. Alright, okay. There's me just punching thin air because I thought it was a bad guy just off screen and it's not. Like I said, this game feels very balanced for multiplayer if you want to get all the big combos and shit like that. Aside from that, it's okay. The few fairly substantial and irritating difficulty spikes, and some of the trophies are just insane. It's like, get through a stage without taking any damage whatsoever. Like, the only way I can see that being realistically possible is if you're playing in 4-player co-op and you've got 3 people doing all the work and 1 person being on the Olympic standing there team. I don't know why you'd ever tolerate that from a friend. You know, just stand there and do bugger all. Sod that. Playing a game, pull your weight. Hell, real life, pull your weight. A lesson that quite a few people I know still need to learn. Mentioning no names in particular, but you know who you are. I'm gonna take this knife. Why is aerial recovery not working? See, the thing about Blaze is like, she's always had sort of average stats across the board, so she's not really particularly strong or weak in anything, but generally she's pretty quick. Like, as with all lazy writers, it's usually the girl character who's, you know, the quick but weak one. But the thing is that in a game series like this, where you're trying to build combos, being ridiculously fast is, frankly, of more use than being powerful. Like in the original Streets of Rage, Blaze, you can fight me on this as much as you like. She is by far the best character. Like, she's cloned as a boss 4 times. That's how badass she is. What more do you want? Oh, if you're ever playing Streets of Rage 1, by the way, there is a back attack. I didn't own the manual as a kid, so when you do this little kick thing, it's just on the R trigger now. If you press attack and jump at the same time on the old Mega Drive games, you do the back attack. And that's actually what the Blaze clones are weak against. So if you ever struggled through fighting Mona, that's their names by the way, Mona and Lisa, in Streets of Rage 1 and 2, when they make appearances as bosses, use the back attack on them. It fucking murders them in no time flat. I legit didn't know that for like 25 years. I felt so fucking stupid when I finally got a digital copy of the game on my PlayStation Vita, and because of that I've got access to the manual for the first time ever, and now I know that the special move exists. So, there you go. So I'm not much... I'd say out of the 4 games in the series, this is the 3rd best. It's not by any means a bad game. Let me state that off. It's not bad. The art style, as you can see, is pretty solid. It's got some good music, even if I am completely disregarding it in favour of the original soundtrack. The gameplay's sound. I imagine if you played it in multiplayer, it would be a lot better. But I don't know, it just feels like there's too much faff and nonsense with the with a lot of the combo system and the way it expects you to use your defensive special like all the bloody time. It's got this Bloodborne health regen system, and I just think it's lacking a bit of the purity of the other games. I get it's been a long time, you can't just make Streets of Rage 1 and 2 again. But I just feel like something ineffable was sort of lost in translation, you know what I mean? It's like this it just feels not quite right to me. Still glad I bought it, still glad I paid full price for it. Well, near enough anyway, it was a PlayStation Plus discount on the first day. But it's Streets of Rage 2, then Streets of Rage 1, then this, and then the bastard child Streets of Rage 3 that we prefer not to talk about, bringing up the rear. For those that don't know, Streets of Rage 3 was heavily censored in the West. There's a character called Ash who was supposed to be like this gay character. No problem with that. But for reasons beyond my ken, it was taken out for the Western release. And oh, you're pissing me off now, lady. Also, they kind of fucked up the difficulty. So if I recall correctly, it was a case of the Japanese hard mode became the Western standard mode. So the game was just ridiculously difficult. Hence why the majority of players these days would just prefer to get hold of the fan translation patch. of the Japanese version, Bare Knuckle, and just play that instead. I'll eat that burger down there because I'm running a bit low on health here. I'm not doing too well, as you can see, because, well, first of all, I'm not particularly good at this game, and secondly, I'm trying to commentate and play at the same time. So, if I'm sucking, it's your fault! Also, can't help but feel that this music was poorly chosen, because this is the final boss music from Streets of Rage 2, and it's for the first boss here. Doesn't sit right. Like, this deserves to be for a far more epic confrontation. Oh yeah, you can catch shit out of the air now. Which is just cool. There you go, that's stage 1, Streets of Rage 4. All things considered, not actually a bad run. A rank score. Don't usually get that. Like I said, I'm not very good at this. Out of curiosity, let's check the high scores and see how utterly ludicrous they are. See, look at this. There's people who have got like 53,000 points. I can only assume that's a hack. Unless there's some 30,000 point bonus for going through the entire level as one unbroken combo, never taking a hit, and I still maintain that's bullshit hacks. So, like, who's setting these scores, man? But there you go, that's Streets of Rage 4, or at least the start of it. I'm not going to play through the whole thing, because, well, for a start, I can only record for an hour at a time, and the game's longer than that. So, I will see you later, I suppose. I'll go and find some other way to amuse myself.